Ooh, do I even know how to do this anymore? Yeah, I think I done lost my touch. I don't even know if I remember how to do this. What's good, YouTube? It's your girl Bree Nicole, and I'm back after like what, a year? I think it's been a year since my last video. Yeah, I think it was like Christmas of 2023. That's crazy. But I'm back. I took some time off to process my life, everything that was going on, to heal, to find myself again, find happipiness, and just embrace life for what it is. I know I ain't the only one that went through it. 2024 tried us, y'all. They really tried us, but look, it's 2025. We made it by the grace of God. We made it, y'all. So I am finally in a good place where I am ready to get back on my channel, kind of talk about everything that I have went through in 2024. I just picked up the camera. I went to the store today, got a little iced coffee, and I literally was just like, I want to get back on my channel. I've been saying I wanted to come back even last year when I processed a lot of things that I needed to process. I kept saying, get back on your channel. This is like a way for me to cope. This is a good coping skill and hobby for me, guys. So to all of my supporters that stayed, even though I was absent for a whole year, I appreciate you guys. Any new subscribers, welcome to my channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and we just about to pick back up like we never left, right? Look, I'm about to show y'all. This is some, look y'all, not playing no games. This year, y'all, I struggled. So I got some tea for y'all. I'm gonna need y'all to grab your coffee, grab your popcorn, whatever. First, I wanna start off by saying thank you to 2024, because I learned a lot about myself and the strength I didn't know I had. Baby, stronger than I thought. So I just really sit back like, dang, like I really went through a lot, guys. So I felt like I lived two different lives, literally from January to May, and then July to December. June, July was like a mental, like a stop for me, but it was one of the roughest years I've had in a long time, but also one of the best years I've had. I was thrown so many obstacles I was not prepared for, but I made it through. I came out of it, you know? So my transition, going from a married mom of 3 to a first-time single mom of 3, was a really big transition for me last year. So that is definitely one thing that is gonna be the highlight of this video that I wanna talk about, my divorce. I really just wanna share my story, my experience through this, any advice or tips, things that I've learned through my journey with you guys. Anybody that is currently going through what I might be going through, or feels like, you know, that might be something in their near future, whatever the case may be. That is the main thing that's motivating me to come back on my channel. So let's just do a quick recap. I got some dates here to kind of just throw out, and then I'm gonna dig deep into my main topic. So one big thing last year, your girl turned 30, 94 babies. We getting up there, but that was a decent time. I was still going through a lot around my birthday as far as depression, the relationship falling, because I separated from my ex 2.5 weeks after my birthday. So it was like already one of those things. The morning of my birthday was just chaotic with arguing and things like that. So it was a hard time, but nonetheless, I did celebrate turning 30 with some of my closest friends who made it a good night for me. And then another thing that I want to bring up that I went through last year was my middle child, my daughter, who is now 4. She was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. She is high functioning, level 1. However, that is still something that as a parent, we go through so much, right? There's so many thoughts, so many questions, so many emotions. That in itself was an entire journey that I also want to talk about on my channel. I just kind of want to jump right in. So with my marriage, we got married in September of 2022. after we had been together for, I believe that was 5 years. And no, 4 years. 2018, 19, 20. So we had been together 4 years, and then we got married. We were married for a year and 8 months when we separated, and then separated in May of 2024. And in July of 2024, that's when we filed for divorce. And if you're in California, because all states are different, you probably, if you have gone through this process and or going through it, you're probably aware by now of that lovely 6-month waiting period that we have. So my divorce should be final in about 15 days. The content that I want to talk about today around my divorce is just my story, guys. And when I say that, I don't mean my story on what happened with the relationship. I don't plan on talking about that, right? I'm not on here to bash my children's father or to discredit anything that we went through, you know, good things, bad things, whatever. That's not the point of this. For me, the point of this is to educate others, to help other people that's going through the same thing. Maybe I might say something that they could take away from this video and help them through their process. That is my goal. So through the last 8 months, I have been asked several questions from people on Facebook going through the same thing, strangers, family members going through the same thing, reached out, we connected that way, friends, X, Y, and Z. So you really, going through a divorce, I feel like our initial emotion that a lot of us might feel is alone, especially if you're surrounded by a community where you have close friends or family members that are married, siblings that are married, and now you're on this opposite side of things, right? So you kind of immediately get into that mindset of they're not going to understand, or who can I talk to? I feel alone. But I realized that we're not alone. There are so many people that you'd be surprised, you know, that are going through the same thing, that want to lean on each other, support each other, and help each other through this. I've had so many strangers help me through this process, and you know, vice versa, without even intentionally doing so. Main question that I used to get, when did I know it was time for a divorce? The first one was when I felt like I tried everything. I had, within the relationship in the past, had mentioned, let's go to couples counseling, and that was declined, you know? So I tried writing out letters. One of my biggest struggles personally was being more vulnerable and open, allowing my ex to see the emotion. We sometimes don't want to cry, right, in front of our partners or in front of anybody. We want to be tough. You know, we got this figured out all the time, and that's not true. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be soft and vulnerable with your partner and let them in. And that's something that I'm still currently working on, but now I recognize it. That was something that I hadn't done as much in that relationship until the end, and it could have been too late, right? But yeah, that was one thing I was trying to do, is recognize my flaws and work on them, basically. Communicating better. I really focused on communication. I tried writing letters, pros and cons, and this was with my ex, not just by myself, you know, in a car, but like with that person, like, this is what the relationship looks like right now. This is what we both can work on. It wasn't a one-sided attack, but like, you can work on this, I can work on this, X, Y, Z, right? Active listening. So what do you feel we should work on? What do you feel I need, right? I'm an associate. If you don't know, I am an associate marriage and family therapist and an associate professional clinical counselor, AMFT and APCC licenses right now. So as a mental health professional, I am very big on communicating effectively. That is something I learned through being in school, through being in practice, right? Working with clients, working with families, couples, everything. It really opened my mind up to better communication. Why would I not teach something to another couple but then not bring it home? Yeah, I was creating goals for both of us. Like I said, no one's perfect, so trying to create those goals that we can both work on. Goals weren't being met. Nothing was being worked on. Counseling was denied. So that was like number one for me. You kind of see those things for what it is. Once I feel like I've tried everything, I tried everything. Number two, when things took a shift in my relationship, that's when I knew it was time to talk about things. When you stop laughing with your partner, when you stop going on dates, when you stop touching each other, when you stop holding hands, when you stop being affectionate, that's a big thing, especially when it's discussed. I was not quiet about things in the sense of, like I said, being more vulnerable. If I have a question about something, or if I'm wondering why aren't we doing X, Y, and Z anymore, I'm gonna ask, because a closed mouth don't get fed, and this is the time to communicate those differences. I didn't just peep it and pull back and not say anything. In a marriage, no, like, you are all foot forward, you are trying, right? It feels lonely. For me, it felt lonely, cold, and that's not what a marriage feels like. You should never be in a marriage. You as in me, this is what I was telling myself. I should not be in a marriage and feel single or feel lonely. If I have somebody that lives with me and we're sleeping in the same room every night, why do I feel lonely? That was a big one. And the last one, this one I recently just kind of like thought about, and I definitely had to add it here. And that was when people would ask me prior to separation, there was a lot of downs, a lot of arguments. And even if it was minor, it still was there, you know, there was still something. At one point, I felt like I was walking on eggshells. I felt like, what is it gonna be today? And that was hard. It took me to have separated, to have realized for a while you were in this state of what today? What is it gonna be today? Versus looking forward to days. When family members would ask, how are you feeling? Are you happy? Like, you know, because if you're happy, that's really good, right? I started to hesitate. Am I happy? Or I would kind of say in my head, like, yeah, I am. That's not convincing, right? And like I said, as a mental health professional, I've asked clients before, friends before, family members in similar situations. That's one thing I like to ask. Are you happy? Are you content? Are you okay? Like, are you in a spot where you're looking at your life from the outside and you can say, I'm okay with this right now? Like, not even okay, but like, I'm good with this right now. This is my life. Like, I could show this off to everybody. I love this life for me. I love this for me. If you're looking at your life from the outside and you're like, I don't know if I want to, you know, show that off, or I don't know if I want to talk about that. Let's just pretend it doesn't exist. So when I had to hesitate on if I'm happy, when I was only married for 1 year and 8 months, and I was able to differentiate, you know, between what could have probably been postpartum depression, what could have probably been, you know, transitioning into 30, like whatever the case may have been. It was not all just pointing fingers at this one situation. I kept a pretty clear mind on this applies to this. I might be feeling that way because of this, right? But when they would say, are you happy? I knew that obviously they were talking about with that situation, and I wasn't. So then that's when I had to take a step back for me and say, what do you need to make you happy? The next question I would get often was, what was the hardest part about my divorce? Again, everybody's divorce process is different. So if you have like property with your partner, like, you know, homes and stuff, I imagine it's way harder because there might be more fighting over who gets what and things like that. Thankfully, we did not have that. The child custody, that was the hardest part because our kids are very young, and you know, I'm that type of mom, like most parents, right, that adores being with their children. I've never been away from my children for more than X amount of days since I've had them. So this current transition, my ex gets his time, I get mine. I'm trying to be vague, guys. Like, I wanted to say like the days, was like, that's not important, right? So if that's why I'm hesitating, but having a quiet home, an empty playroom, no Coco Melon on the TV, no Miss Rachel, like it is now, was hard for me as a mother at first. And it's still a little hard, but at the end of the day, he needs his children, our children need him, just like I need my children and my children need me. But they are with me for the most part, so mama needs a break here and there. We all do, right? All parents. Like I said, I've been really focusing on things that I enjoy, and I did put that in here somewhere. How I cope, so that's the next question. So we can just kind of go ahead and go into it. So another question is, how did I cope with the divorce? So I started incorporating more self-care into my life. I started getting facials, got like my first facial ever a few months ago, just got another one recently. I started getting monthly massages, doing things I've always wanted to do, just never done before. That was one way I coped. Another one, the first one I put on my list is I accepted it right away. I knew at one point in the beginning of the year that we would probably be leaning towards this. I don't think you are in a good marriage and then you just wake up one morning and you're like, oh, it's Tuesday, I think I want to file for divorce today. No, right? So it's something that has been in the back of our heads. It's something that has been brought up before. So I accepted it, and I was okay. I allowed myself to feel all the emotions. I didn't brush it off as if it were nothing. I feel like at the very beginning I did, kind of like, oh, we knew this was gonna happen, guys, whatever, right? And even though I knew that, and even though I knew for me personally, this was what was best, it didn't mean it was gonna not hurt a little. You know, we're human, we're gonna hurt. Feel my feelings, cry, I prayed, I processed, and I healed. And then I leaned on my closest friends and family for support. This caused me to open up about everything, things that went on that maybe people weren't aware of, right? Because sometimes when you bring up divorce to friends and family, it could be a shock. Like, what? Why? You guys look so great on the pictures and stuff, right? But little did you know, XYZ. So I opened up to very few, just enough people, so they can understand why and how we got here. And everybody was very supportive. They understood. And I think that's really important to have through this process. And I also did some retail therapy, guys. So a lot of shopping. I kind of like redid like my wardrobe. I started living for me. And you probably hear me say that a few times in this video. I will get into a different video on what I'm talking about. For those that follow me on Instagram, things like that, you already know what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna save that for another video. I redecorated my entire bedroom. I'm still in the same house that we were in together. So when that person left, it felt like I'm still in the same room, but that person is missing. It felt like it was still our room. Transitioning to, okay, now it's just me. I can decorate it how I want. I could put pink fuzzy pillows and whatever I want in here, give it some life, right? I did that. And I love my room now. So now I don't go into my room and feel that cold memory or that shiver that I used to get of like, oh, I'm in this room, can't even sleep. No, I actually go into my room, I smile because I love my decor. I picked it out myself. And now it's my space. So that for me was really big, and I didn't even realize that would have been that significant for me, but it was. And then I started focusing on my physical health, fell off of working out, but it's 2025 and I definitely have a goal weight, and I am thinking about documenting that journey as well on my channel, because that was one of my goals before and I didn't do it. Like a small workout weekly recap. So workout 5 days a week, at the end, a little small recap video, little 5-minute video of what I ate in that week, what my workouts look like, and then upload. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that's very manageable and doable. And it'll hold me accountable to actually stay consistent. That is my biggest struggle, is being consistent. We were talking about, how I coped. So there was 2 more left. I got closer to God. I prayed more. You guys, I talked to God and I prayed so much. I got in tune with my Bible. Certain scriptures that I would, highlight, write down. I don't have none of that on me. I probably should have brought it, but that would have made this video 30 minutes longer. But if you are spiritual and if you have a relationship with God, if that's something that you do and you believe in, definitely give it to God. He will see you through. We are stronger than we think, and you will get through this if you're going through it. And last but not least, go to therapy. If you feel like you don't have that village of support that, like I said, I had, where I leaned on friends and family, They were very supportive. Like, if you feel like you don't have that right now, therapy is amazing. I processed a lot on my own. I gave myself homework assignments and I gave therapy to myself. Like, sounds funny, but I got through it. I didn't have to go to therapy for it, but you guys, like I said, I felt like I didn't have to go because I had the support, but not everybody has that. Mental health matters. Definitely focus on your mental health and ask yourself, what do you need, right? And that's it as far as how did I cope? And another question I got was, or not even question, but kind of like me telling myself, like, what did I not do? Because a lot of people love to have their opinions on what you should do and things like that. So the first thing I didn't do was seek advice from others about my decision. I don't think it would have been a good idea to, ask anybody, what would you do in this situation? It doesn't matter. You have to do what you feel is right for you and what the best decision is for yourself. I did not listen to others about what I should do next. When you announce something significant like a divorce in your life, I feel like, based on my experience, a lot of people love to try to help you create your path from there. They like to help you create what you should do next, right? Oh, now is the time where you should go back to school. Oh, now is the time where you can apply for that job. Oh, now is the time where you can do this. Oh, you really should take a year or 2 or 3 off and focus on yourself. Or, you hear the opposite. Oh, whole face, happiness over everything. You should go do what you want to do. Go out, explore, have fun, be single. All types of different advice, right? Shut it out. I feel like for me, what worked is sitting down with myself and God. What do I want to do next? How do I want to outline this path for me to get through this process? What do I want to do? Do I want to take time off? Do I want to go date? Do I want to go back to school? Do I want to, that is up to you. So I think one of my pieces of advice would be to tune it out and you will figure it out. I don't know. I guess, guys, just take a step back and ask yourself, what do you want? Because that's literally what I did, and things just fell into place. Okay, and the last piece, I guess this will be tips. I had to let go of these fears, these irrational what ifs, all this stuff. Starting over will take years and be impossible. It's gonna be nearly impossible to start over. Like I said, through my process, my children, they're all young. At the time, they were just turned 1 and they were 3 and 4. Now they're 4 and 5 and 18 months. But as a young mother of 3 very little children, I thought that for a second, like, how are you gonna do this? Another one that went through my head, no one will want you with 3 kids. You should have stayed for the kids. Your marriage was short. Maybe you could have given it another 4 or 5 years. These were all thoughts that I experienced, based on my life. I'm not gonna say it's easier than you think, but you can do this. It is not impossible. I have not felt this happy in so long. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so thankful for the support. And I don't even know how many family members have called me on the phone, have messaged me on Facebook, have seen me at, parties. Like I said, the holidays just passed, have seen me and have pulled me to the side and said, I have not seen you this happy in so long, or I haven't seen you this happy ever, or you're glowing, you look amazing, you lost weight, you look healthy, just so many compliments. And it was just an eye-opener as to the fact that I am here, I am happy, I got through that, I made it. And you guys can do it too. I am content, I am free, I am happy. And for the first time in a long time, I mean that. Another thing that I did not mention is my attorney. If you are in a position where you've never gone through anything like this and you just don't know where to start, like for me, I didn't know, like, do I need to drive down to the courthouse and ask for some papers? Do I do this online? And I went online and it's like so many websites came up. What's the real website? Is it the .gov? Is it the .c? Like, oh my gosh, it was very overwhelming. And then when you find the right one, the amount of paperwork, you guys, for the divorce process, If you know, you know. It's very overwhelming. My attorney handled all the paperwork. They told me what they needed from me. I sent it. They organized it. They submitted it. And that took so much stress off of me. The money was worth it because I feel like without them, I would have had to go to court and stand in front of the judge, and he's on this side, I'm over here, and it turns into some bickering, you know, and like in my head, the judge is gonna yell at us, like, so the lawyers made it so smooth, like I said, to the point where we didn't even have to appear. That was how I navigated through this divorce. And like I said, if you are going through something similar or just need a friend to talk to, even if it's not divorce, it could just be, I don't know, relationship concerns, anything. I'm here. I love to support others because it takes a village. But yes, guys, stay tuned for my next video. Like I said, I want to dive in on parenting with autism. That was another huge thing, huge obstacle in 2024 that I got through. If you are new to my channel, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you are returning, guys, thank you so much for the support. Like I said earlier, you guys are awesome. This is your girl, Bree Nicole. I'm out of here, guys. Bye.